Welcome to Presenting Offers to Sellers. In this session, we're going to master how to guide clients through one of the most critical moments of their selling journey, reviewing and choosing offers. Because here's the truth: how you present an offer can either build trust and confidence or cause confusion, frustration, and even lost deals. Sellers don't want numbers, they want clarity. They want to feel guided. And right now, in today's market, sellers need agents who can do more than just email a PDF or an RPA. They need someone who can translate, compare, and coach them through the decision making process with ease. So, next, I'm going to show you exactly the framework I use, from prepping sellers before offers arrive to summarizing and comparing terms to handling emotions and objections. You're going to walk away with stories, scripts, and tools that you can use. So let's get started. Welcome to Presenting Offers to Sellers. This is one of the most important skills in real estate because presenting offers isn't just about the paperwork, it's about giving clarity, building trust, and helping our clients make one of the biggest decisions of their lives. And here's the truth: how you present an offer can break your client's confidence in you. So let's dive in. So, when you sit down with a seller to review offers, it's not just numbers on paper. It's the moment where everything they've been waiting for finally becomes real. I'll never forget one of my first listings. I simply emailed the contract to my sellers without any explanation. They called me back completely confused. They didn't know what half of the terms meant. And worse, I think they lost trust in me. So that's when I learned that our job is to translate, not just deliver. So from that day forward, I built a process that makes sellers feel informed and confident, not overwhelmed. So before offers even arrive, preparation is the key. So here's what I do with every single one of my sellers: I set expectations at the front. So they know when offers might arrive, and they'll know when offers arrive, they're going to know how we handle them. I ask them about their priorities. Do they care most about price, timing, or financial security? I explain the basics, like contingencies, loan types, and closing timelines. And finally, I show them the framework I use to compare offers side by side. That way, when offers start rolling in, they're not blindsided. They know exactly what matters most to them. So here's a quick story. I had a seller who swore that the only thing that mattered to them was the price. But when we got three offers, one was 10,000 less than the highest, yet it had a quick close. Because they had already bought their next home, that quick close actually mattered more. If I hadn't prepped them, they might have picked the wrong offer. Okay, so let's look at the anatomy of offer. When an offer comes in, don't dump a 15 or 10-page contract in your client's lap. Instead, boil it down to what matters most. I use a one-page summary sheet that we'll show you here in a bit with all the essentials: the purchase price, the down payment, the loan type, contingencies, closing date, and any seller credits. If your seller can't repeat those key points back to you, the offer isn't clear enough. So think of yourself as a translator. Your job is to make the complicated seem simple. All right. So here's a screenshot of what my offer summaries look like when I break down offers to my client. Okay. So here's a real example of a strong offer. This one came in at 1.3 million with a huge down payment, a solid EMD, short contingency windows. The only give was about 13,000 in closing cost and a home warranty. Now on paper, this is the kind of offer that gives sellers confidence. It shows the buyer is serious and financially secure. When I presented this, my sellers immediately said, "Wow, this looks solid." And that's exactly the reaction you want. So you can see here on my offer summary page that I send with them, it shows all those bullet points. And then I even have the contingencies under the additional terms there. And then I let them know when the offer is expiring. This is important. You don't want your seller to wait too long. They miss that deadline and say, "You never told me when it was expiring." Don't trust that they're going to read all 10 pages of the RPA. That's what we're here for, is to highlight all the important items. And every time I send them an offer summary, example, if I have a listing and I have 4 offers, I'm using this exact template along with the same email template, which I'm going to show you shortly, every single time. Consistency equals confidence. Okay. Now here's the opposite. This is a $700,000 offer that was well below asking. But notice how I presented it. I didn't just say, here's a low ball offer. I added context. The buyers were a military family relocating with a newborn. They wrote a heartfelt letter about picturing themselves in the home, having barbecues with friends, raising their daughter there. By framing it that way, I softened the sting of the number and opened the door for a counteroffer. Because sometimes the story behind the offer matters as much as the math. So you can see my template here. Again, if I had 3 offers come in for the property, I'm following the exact same template. So for the subject line, instead of offer number 1, it would say offer number 2, offer number 3, dash property address. So, hi, Mr. Seller. Attached is the first offer we received for your home at 123 Main Street. It comes in at $700,000, which is lower than what we had hoped for. The buyer's agent mentioned they are hoping for a counter rather than an outright rejection. So here are the key terms for the offer: price, EMD, loan type, closing timeline, contingencies. The agent also shared a personal note about the buyers. So let's review this together and decide on the best next step for you. So again, instead of just saying we had a low ball offer and putting such a sour taste in my seller's mouth, I'm a big believer on putting a counter out, even if the counter is right back at the original list price. It's worth the extra work and paperwork to try to bridge the gap as much as possible. And when I tell my seller this at the listing appointment, that I believe in paperwork and pushing counters until we bridge the gap, until we're comfortable, it's not going to be a surprise to them when we do that extra paperwork. Okay, the comparison framework. When you have multiple offers, organization is everything. So I put them side by side in a simple grid: price, net, loan type, contingencies, closing timeline, and concessions. Then I walk my sellers through each row. For example, offer A is 615 with the 5K credit, so the net is 610. Offer B is 630 cash, no contingencies, closing in 2 weeks. Offer C is 600K with VA financing and longer timelines. Suddenly, the differences pop out. Sellers can usually see the trade offs. And when 2 offers are close, I always show them the net proceeds, because at the end of the day, what matters most is what they walk away with. All right. So numbers tell the facts, but stories seal the deal. Think about it. A seller might hesitate between 2 close offers. One's a bit higher, but the other comes from a family who truly loves the home. I had a seller once choose a slightly lower offer because the buyers wanted to raise their kids there, just like my sellers had. That emotional connection mattered. Our job is to balance both the numbers and the narrative. When we present both clearly, sellers make good decisions, or if they feel good about the decisions that they make, because we're giving them all the facts along with the narrative and the story. All right, this is an important one: managing emotions. So here's the part no one talks about enough: seller emotions. Excitement when that first offer arrives, disappointment when it's lower than what they've hoped for, indecision when there are too many choices, and sometimes deep attachment to who will own their next home, or who will own their home next. I once had a seller slam a low ball offer down on the table and say, "This is insulting." I let them vent, then calmly said, "I understand how you feel, but remember, an offer is just a starting point. We can counter." That shifted the whole conversation. So, your role is to be calm, steady, and guide them. Let them feel, then bring them back to the facts and all the options at hand. Okay. In person versus Zoom and virtual. So, how you present matters too. In person, you've got the advantage of body language and rapport and those kitchen table moments. You got to bring printouts, highlight key terms, and sit next to them, not across from them. Virtual? Well, it's about clarity and control. You Zoom, share your screen, and follow up with a recap email. I've had clients across the country. The tech definitely worked, but what mattered most was checking in often. Does this make sense so far? How do you feel about that? Do you think we can make this work? That kept them engaged, even miles away. So, whatever you choose here at this point, make sure you're letting them know which direction you're going to go in at the listing presentation. So, I'll tell my sellers at the listing presentation when we get offers, I'm going to email you an offer summary sheet and I bring an example with me. I'm going to give all the bullet points in the email and then we're going to schedule a call so we can go over it together. Or you may have some sellers who are very hands-on. So you go, I'm going to email you all of this because you want them to have a copy of everything always. And say, additionally, I'm going to stop by the house so we can uncover all of this together. So make sure you map out that plan with your seller even before going live on the market. Okay, let's jump into some objection handling. So, of course, objections will come up. Should we wait for more offers? This is insulting. I don't want to pay their closing costs. Instead of pushing back, I validate their feelings first. Then I reframe. For example, when sellers don't want to give credits, I say, it's not about paying the buyer's closing cost. It's about what you net. If the offer is $300,000 with $5,000 in credits, that's like $295,000. Would you sell for $295,000? If yes, the credit is just how we got there. So having these scripts ready makes you look confident and in control. Okay. All right. So this process works best when you have systems. I use the offer summary for each offer that comes in, comparison net sheets for side by side review, a net proceeds calculator, email templates to follow up, and a script bank for objections. When you show up this prepared, sellers see you as a professional, not just a messenger, and they're relying on you. Okay. So, what elite agents do differently, we prepare, we simplify, we guide, and we reassure. Okay. So, here's what separates agents from the average ones. Okay. We are their trusted advisor because at the end of the day, anyone can deliver an offer. That's the easy part. But what we do is we deliver with clarity, confidence, and conversion. Okay. That's what gets sellers to not only accept the right offer, but to refer you again and again. So thanks for joining me today. Now go out there and present those offers like the pro I know you are. We've just walked through the art of presenting offers, from preparation to side-by-side comparisons to guiding sellers with confidence. Because this isn't just paperwork. This is the moment that defines how sellers see you, as either just another agent or as their trusted advisor. So when you present offers with clarity, you build relationships and referrals for life. And right now, you have everything you need: the framework, the scripts, the tools. So don't wait until your next listing to wing it. Start using this process today. So the next time an offer comes in, remember prepare, simplify, guide, and reassure. Do that, and you won't just deliver an offer, you'll deliver confidence. And that's what makes you stand out. Thanks for joining me today.